welcome to my channel, and thanks so much for coming and hanging out for day 18 of 31 days of Halloween. That's where I come to you every single day during the month of October with some fun, spooky related content. Today we're going to be working on my oldest daughter's Halloween costume. She has elected to be Evil Ochako Uraraka from My Hero Academia. Here's a couple of pictures. I'm not sure of the artist here. I tried to source it and I could not find the artist. So if you know who this is, please let me know so that I can properly credit them. But this is the design that she chose to go off of. So we're going to be working on that today with some basic sewing supplies. And I have an old garment that I used for an old competition, but it is way too big for my 9-year-old, so I'm going to be shrinking it down and making it fit her. And then also adding some other things. The biggest thing was cutting out the zipper. Had to cut out the zipper and cut all the way down the back seam so that I would end up with one long, basically, strip of the makings of a dress. You can see here I got the zipper removed, but I'm not going to be reusing it. I have a brand new zipper, so I'm just going to use it. I didn't want to unpick all of that thread for no reason. I also had to remove the bow that I had on the front, but that'll be covered with a belt with the final design. Here I am measuring the waist so that I can see how much I need to take off. 17 makes the waist a 34 since it would have to be doubled. So I need to take off roughly about 5 inches, 2.5 inches on each side. So I'm making my seam line and my cut line so that I can cut out this chunk and have a dress that is roughly the correct size for my kiddo. Here I'm just pinning along my stitch line so that I remind myself not to cut there, and then I cut off all that excess that I will no longer need. I'm not sure what happened to the footage here, but I also had to take it in just to give it like a little bit of a dart in a couple of places just to make it fit her, make it so it would fit her right. So that's what I did there. I don't know what happened to the footage there, but there's the final piece. It is all ready to go. It fits around her waist and her chest. Now we have to do the mesh part and the sleeves. The sleeves are nice and puffy, so I have this lovely see-through sort of mesh black fabric that I'm going to be using. Since they have big puffy sleeves, I'm using the sleeves from an adult like angel costume, and then the top framing for a leotard just so I can get that upper bodice. I measured around what I would need, and then I'm making it so that I cut off just a little bit extra. That way I can be sure that I have enough fabric to do the top piece. Cutting it out was kind of a challenge because this is a multi-size pattern, and so as you can see it was just kind of a pain, but I managed. Got it all cut out, and you end up with, that's the front, and then the back is going to be 2 pieces that are just pretty much exactly like this. So you can see here we have our upper bodice pieces. Next I need to cut out the sleeve. It's really enormous, but in the end it works out really well. So get the sleeves cut out, and then just kind of set those to the side and go back to working on the upper bodice. You have to attach the shoulders and the side seams and stitch those all together, so that was my next move. If you're hearing any background noises, I apologize. I don't live in a recording studio. I live in a home with children and dogs. So here we have the upper bodice piece. It is all ready to go. We got to add on those sleeves. First step with your big sleeve is to fold it in half and make your underarm seam. So that's what I did here, was just folded it in half and stitched all along the entire length of the arm sleeve until I had an entire sleeve. And then you have to repeat the process for the other sleeve. So in order to get that puffiness on the sleeve, you have to either pleat or gather it. I find gathering is just way easier, especially with these weird mesh fabrics. So I'm just running a really long straight stitch all along the edge and then bunching up and gathering pretty much all the way around the sleeve to get that nice puff. can see here, it's nice and fluffy and puffy, and it'll sit lovely at the shoulder. The bottom is not gathered yet. I'm not stressing about that. Now we need to attach the sleeves to the upper part of the bodice. It needs to be turned inside out, sleeve needs to be right side out, and then you place it just inside the armhole, line up the edges, and then pin and stitch. There we go, the sleeve is on. Now don't forget to do the other one. Now to finalize the sleeves, they are gathered at the bottom with sort of like an elastic band probably, so I don't have that yet. I'm going to have to go get that in order to finish the sleeves. But I can attach the top of the bodice to the dress, which is the next step that has to happen. Is the see-through part needs to be attached to the opaque part. So you want to lay your dress out right side up and put the right side, the front, the outside of the top piece against the outside of the dress so that the right sides are together. Pin all along the edge and then stitch that one long straight stitch. So there we have it today, guys. That's my stopping point for today. I've got the sleeves on, I've got the bodice attached. It's mostly done. Got 3 big things left to do to finish this cosplay. So the first big thing is finishing the sleeve. I don't have any elastic to squeeze off the end, so that's a big thing I'm gonna have to do. Also need to put the zipper in to close it up in the back. And then finally the white belt to complete the look. So the next time we work on this, we'll just be finishing it up. I want to thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out today for day 18 of 31 Days of Halloween. And I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Bye, guys.